Welcome back to my official YouTube channel. This is Gaurav Ayaan, and look, it was a brilliant test match yesterday. It was like a famous test match victory for India. Well, it's nothing new. We have won this Lord's Test match earlier, also in the 2014 series under the captaincy of Mahendra Singh Dhoni. At that point of time, Mahendra Singh Dhoni was the captain, and obviously everybody could have remembered that Ishan Sharma took the most of the wicket on that test match. So after so many long years, after 2000 and the 2018 wasn't great enough, and once again in 2021, right now we have won this famous test match victory on the Lord's Test match ground. So obviously. Yesterday, Lucas was not there, and obviously we didn't had good enough discussion on the on this test match because I was alone on that yesterday episode. So we will have this discussion today with my Australian mate Lucas, who is in the show, and we will have this discussion about all this test match going around in this Lord's Test match. What happened? What gonna happen after that? And what will be the changes? And what are the positive points? What are the negatives points? We will discuss all of that with my Australian mate Lucas. Lucas, welcome back. Welcome back to my show. We really missed you yesterday in the
Yeah,
show because obviously you thought that it will be a draw test match, right? And you went to sleep.
yeah. I went to sleep after tea. So hello.
Yeah, go ahead,
Yeah,
Lucas.
I went to sleep. I went to sleep after tea, thinking that or stupidly thinking that the game's going to be stopped to bad light and it's going to be a draw. So I missed the ball on that one, unfortunately.
No issues, no issues, Lucas. Oh, Lucas, you were about to say something.
Yeah. I've got a very good friend of mine. Her name is Jess. And she watches this show.
Yes.
So I said something. Yeah, I don't want to get into what I said because this is a sports show, but
Yes,
I'm
this is a
I'm
cricket
I'm
show.
I'm very sorry for my tweet. I did not mean it to come out that way. And I'm sorry that I hurt you. I've known you for two years. She will be watching because she told me she will be watching.
Uh,
So I apologize, sincerely apologize. In my hands on my heart, I apologize. Sorry it came out that way. Did not mean it to come out that way. Sometimes we say stupid things, but sorry for that. And continue supporting this channel, Jess, and keep watching. Thank you.
let's move forward, Lucas. As I said it earlier, it's a cricket YouTube channel, and we will have this discussion on this cricket. So, so what's your thought? I was just seeing this England batting lineup, and just I was analyzing on my head that Lucas, my friend, must be thinking, hang on, England lost that Test match in around England didn't face almost 60 overs, and they got bowled out in 50 or 55 overs, whatever the over was. So you must be thinking, hang on, Ashes is coming 5-0, right?
Yeah.
Obviously seeing
I think this
at
is
the
what
top
should
of the
we this is
batsman.
what we should do.
Obviously seeing up to the top of the
Yeah.
batsman.
See, we win the first three Test matches after Perth, and then we play a second string team and finish them off 5-0. That would be the perfect situation. So, but no, their team's in
And then the
awful.
analyst told me that 6.5 overs left. That means 50 over 54 or 55 overs only. They got bundled out on 54 and 55 overs. Lucas, go ahead.
Well, thank you, Anand, and my health is fine. Thank you. 6.5 overs. Yeah, I, 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 I said to you earlier that I went to bed. I woke up at 8, had notifications everywhere in my tweets, didn't even read them, went back to bed. And then because I saved it on my Foxtel box in Australia, same to Sky Sports, same thing but different name. And I was watching it 20 overs, 15 overs, 10 overs, and then I got rid of it, just deleted it. And then saw on the news channel that India win famous Test match. I'm like, what? And then I checked the highlights on my YouTube. And then
Yes.
boom. So unexpected. It was so late, very late. Probably not as late as what happened in the 2014 Ashes with Jimmy Anderson and who was the other batsman? Monty
Monty
Panesar.
Python. Monty Python.
Probably not as late as that. Well, they went all the way, unfortunately.
Yes. They
But
faced 11 or 12 overs, right? And they
yeah,
went on to
exactly.
win that test match.
So it wasn't as late as that, but this was 6 overs left. That's pretty late. That's right there.
Yeah.
And it was a fantastic, absolute fantastic win by India on such a historic ground. India have a
Yes.
habit of doing that. They've done that in Brisbane, um,
Yes.
and now they've
A
done it
lot of
in
people
in
a lot
Lords.
of people are saying that this is a victory of this is a GABA 2.0 victory. So what's your thought on that?
I think well as far as iconic venues, you can't beat. Actually, you can beat Lords. That's called the MCG. Um,
Yes.
but and Adelaide Oval, MCG Lords. Geez, the English people are going to smash with me for that one, aren't they?
No.
So Lords. We all know Lords is a special place in cricket.
Yes.
It's fantastic, fantastic ground, fantastic venue. Now England don't have the record in Lords as Australia do in Brisbane, but it's still a famous. No matter where you
Yes.
win it, no matter who you play at Lords, it's always a fantastic win when you win a Test match at
Exactly.
Lords, no matter who you are. And India deserve full credit for that.
So let's start from the day five of discussion because you were not part of that earlier show yesterday. So let's discuss on the day five review because obviously I want to take your thought on this. Let's start from the day three because you know what happened once Jimmy Anderson was batting. Obviously, Jasprit Bumrah bowled him a bouncer and he got hit. Obviously, no bowler got the intention that they want to hit any batsman. Okay, fine enough. So I don't know. It's like they got offended. England team offended. Like it's like a disrespect to Jimmy Anderson. Obviously, it's like I have spoken enough on my yesterday's also. It's like you got to ask with Jimmy Anderson, should I bowl a bouncer to you or not?
Well, first of all, I don't have a problem with what Bumrah did to Anderson. Let's be clear.
Exactly. Exactly.
Okay, he did bowl a couple of no balls, but reality check. This is not the first time Bumrah's bowled no balls.
Exactly. Fair
In
enough.
fact, this is not the only time that any cricketer, Test match cricketer, has bowled no balls.
Exactly.
I think let's be honest. If we wanted to really get rid of uh, James Anderson, also Jimmy Anderson with bouncers, they could have done that in the first test.
Exactly.
They could have done it in the first test of the first innings, second innings. It was just one of these things. Bowling bounces. The English people saying, Boomer is such and such. Abusing him. That's unfair. That's completely unacceptable.
Exactly.
This is Test cricket. This is called.
I have just made up one point, Lucas. Is bouncer is a part of the game or not, or should we ask, or any guy, for that matter, any guy would have been there if Jimmy Anderson could have been bowling, or Mark Wood has bowled a bouncer to any batsman. I wouldn't have any problem because bouncer is the part of the game, and you shouldn't have asked with the batsman that should I bowl a bouncer to him. Why is this getting offended? Like you should be asking with the player stretcher like Jimmy Anderson that should I bowl a bouncer to you. It's the behavior of the England team was like that. That you should have asked with the Jimmy Anderson to should I bowl a bouncer to you or not. Go ahead, Lucas.
Yeah, if this was again, if Boomer did this to Joe Root, we wouldn't complain.
Exactly.
If he did this to Hamid, we wouldn't complain. If he did this to even Mark Wood, as you said, we wouldn't complain. But unfortunately, people are very fragile when it comes to Jimmy Anderson. We've seen Mitchell Johnson do this to Jimmy Anderson in the Ashes.
Tell me one thing. You told me very good point that if they would have bowled to any bouncer to anyone, that they would have been fine. So is bowling to Jimmy Anderson a bouncer is not been fair enough counted in England?
No, you can bowl a bouncer to whoever the hell you want to. Um,
Exactly.
so I'm sorry, just because it's James Anderson, he's taken 600 plus wickets. Who gives a damn?
Exactly.
He's a batsman. Um,
Exactly.
at the end of the day, you're trying to get him out. And of course, you want to be fair. But last time I checked,
Fair enough.
Boomer wasn't bowling beamers. He
Beamers,
wasn't bowling.
exactly my
Yeah,
point. He
yeah,
wasn't bowling any beamers
yeah,
to any batsman, and bouncer is the part of the
yeah.
game. And he can bowl to number 11. He can bowl to the
Absolutely.
number 5, and he can bowl bouncer to number one batsman, to the opening batsman as well. Fair enough. It's nothing unfair in this game.
This is why they call it Test match cricket,
Exactly.
because you get tested emotionally, and that was the back and forth abuse. Bumrah
Yes.
and Emerson were dealing with each other. That's the emotional part. The mental part is to, you're getting hit by bouncers. How are you going to deal with that? If you're going to be on back foot, you're going to get front foot is in your head, and the physical part is actually getting hit. That's what Test match cricket is about. Those three things: mental, physical, emotion. Uh,
Yes.
Only format where you'll get this, where you'll get this. That's why they call it a Test match. And you just
Yes.
can't say, well, we're going to outlaw bouncers to number 11. That's just ridiculous. That's just stupid. You might as well outlaw
Yes.
bouncers altogether. No
Yes.
one gets one special treatment of rules. I don't care if it's Jimmy Anderson. I don't care if it's Steve Smith. I don't care if it's Shane Warne, Don
Exactly.
Bradman, Sergeant Tendulkar. Everyone's equal on here. And I think Bumrah got completely treated unfairly in this
Exactly.
situation.
And Lucas, one more thing. Lucas, one more thing. Sorry to interrupt you. And if Markwood was bowling continue bouncer, I think Bumrah hasn't complained either. The problem with I had on that final day, people start all the England players start sledging on Bumrah. That's not fair enough. That's not fair enough. And as Bumrah replied to Josh Butler, another England guy also, that he hasn't told anyone to bowl slow. Lucas, go ahead.
I thought the umpires umpired this poorly, to be honest. Now
Forget about
we
the
have to.
Lucas. Forget about the umpiring. Forget about the umpire. That how they umpire. Is this right to all the that all the 11 players or all the England players were going after Bumrah just because he bowled a bouncer to Jimmy Anderson? Is this fair enough? Because all the other guy, because Mark Wood was bowling bouncer, all the other guys were bowling bouncer, and Bumrah hasn't complained it either that don't bowl bouncer to me. So why this
Well,
all this slating happening after that bowling bouncer after bowling bouncer again and again? You should have got carried on with this all this bouncer happening. Why this sledging happened after that? Go ahead, Lucas.
well, you know, of course, England didn't like it. But that does mean they have to, or they have to, or don't have to like it or don't like it. They're not breaking any rules. Boomer
Exactly.
wasn't breaking any rules. Now, if England don't like it, fair enough. But I'm sorry, that's the rule. That's part of the laws. Well, actually, it's not a rule. There's nothing in the law to say that. That's Test match cricket. With all due respect, no matter if you're a number 11 or number one, if you're an opener, if you're Don Bradman, Tendulkar, Steve Smith, everyone, every now and then you're going to get hit. You're going to get hit,
Exactly.
and that's just because you get hit doesn't mean the bowler's been disrespectful.
Exactly. And
Does not
as long as
does
nobody bowling beamers to you, fair enough.
no, yeah. We've seen the king of beamers, Brett Lee, bowl
Yes.
150 click beamers at heads.
Yes.
Now, even then, we question that it was accidental. I think I forgot to the one he did it to the New Zealand batsman. I forgot who it was. I think that was to McCallum.
I think I have
Um,
seen bowling. I have seen him bowling to Tendulkar also, but Tendulkar
yeah,
didn't got offended.
yeah,
Obviously,
yeah. I
that
think,
was a beamer,
yeah,
and he just gone ahead to him. Said Bretley said sorry to him in that
yeah,
CV series. I think
yeah,
Commonwealth Bank series that was earlier was
yeah.
playing, and Bretley just gone to him, said him sorry that it was not intentional, and Tendulkar
Hmm.
accepted his apology. That's how
Absolutely.
it goes.
Exactly. So Bumrah, it wasn't like Bumrah was bowling beamers or accidentally bowling beamers out of the back of his hand. He was bowling
Yeah,
fair, legitimate deliveries.
exactly.
And the English players, okay, they didn't like it, but they went overboard. They went completely overboard. Um,
Exactly.
very disrespectful. Um, I think, and like I said, when Virat Kohli, Anderson were chipping along, then Curran got involved, Bumrah got involved, Butler got involved. Um, I don't want to put down umpires, but I thought I'll just say I thought they could have left that go. They don't have to interfere. If anyone steps over the line, ICC's job is to find players and suspend them if they go over the
Yes.
line. And I felt the
Yes.
umpires got involved way too much. With all due respect, players are not going to throw punches these days. They're not going to throw kicks. Because if they do, they get suspended and heavily suspended. So
Yes.
in that situation, if that happens next time, just let it play out. These are men, these are professionals. Let's not forget that they are professionals earning a lot of money, and they're
Yes.
not going to risk their money by picking a fight in the against other players when they know that they'll be suspended. So I think the umpires just got to let that go, let it calm down. And by the way, I didn't really hear anything that was. I heard a bit of chit chat with Coley and James Anderson, which it was more funny. It was more funny when we heard it the
Exactly.
first time. We were all
That
laughing.
conversation was more
Yeah,
funny.
yeah. It wasn't like the Mitchell Johnson Michael Clark thing with James Anderson in the Ashes where the broken arm bit. There was nothing like that. So I think the
So
umpires
I
can
was
let that
talking about
go.
this day five play where everybody involved and what do you call it?
Mm.
Everybody was after Jasprit Bumrah.
Yeah, I think the umpires just stay out of it. Let it go. This is Test match cricket. Emotion, like I said, it tests you emotionally. Emotions boiled over. That's what it's about.
Yeah.
So Bumrah did nothing wrong. Okay, Anderson didn't like it. That's fine. That's all good. But I think they went overboard.
Yes. Let's discuss on this cricket again. We had that discussion of these issues where they went wrong of this England. Let's discuss about their tactics against Jasprit Bumrah and Mohammad Shami. Forget we will discuss. We will ask this question to you after some time. Tell me one thing. Once Rishabh Pant got out, what was your expectation with this Indian team? How many score you have in that mind that India will be getting this kind of score and they will got bundle out on this kind of score? And what's your prediction after Rishabh Pant got out? Just tell me, Lucas.
My prediction was 0. Not many runs at all. I thought that
No.
the tail would get
So you
completely
thought
wiped
tail
out.
will not. You just predicted that tail will not wag, which was fair
Uh,
enough.
yeah, maybe Shami could have got 10, but I didn't really expect much from Bumrah, or if Siraj would have came in. But they were absolutely fantastic with the bat. Let's give credit where it's due. Shemi could have got
Yeah.
50 if it wasn't for Coley's declaration.
But
Sorry,
Mohammad
actually
Shami
no.
got
So
50.
yeah, Shemi. Sorry, so hang on. I've
You're
lost my
talking about
mic
Jasprit
here.
Bumrah.
Yeah, I've lost my mic here. Hang on. Yeah, sorry. Yeah. I said yeah. Because we saw Shami get his 50, take off the helmet. Like he made 100. I think Bumrah could have made that 50 as well.
Yes. Yes.
So, but Coley did the right thing in declaring early. He did the right thing.
Yes.
Um,
Yes.
that was I think, a couple of mind games. He could have declared at lunch.
Yes.
Um,
But
but
he just
he
wanted 10
can't.
more ones.
Yeah, he wanted to think that he probably wanted to think that Joe Root that India is going to bat out the game. And then yeah, did a complete U-turn.
So
Declared.
basically, you're trying to say that Lucas, he just wanted to play a mind game with this England opener and England test side, right?
I think I honestly think he did. Because he would.
Yes.
They didn't add on much after the lunch break.
Yes.
And they didn't. And it wasn't like they played 5 or 10 overs.
Yes.
So I think there was a bit of mind games going there. And when the camera went to Joe Root, he was kind of surprised by that. He was like, oh, "What, really?" He declared.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
so no doubt even he was taken by surprise by that.
And the England openers were also not aware about that. Obviously, you see all the openers that they think, oh, okay, hang on, 9 wickets down. So obviously, we have to be aware about, we have to be prepared
mm,
mentally that we are gonna batting this kind of overs today. And obviously, you got to play like this. We got to play like this. So England, and just thinking about this England openers were not aware about that. They go to face immediately after the, what do you call it, 1 or 2 overs
mm.
after the, what do you call it, lunch break.
And we see the openers of any country just sprint off the field, just sprint.
Yes,
Knowing that they're heading to bat. We didn't see that the England Openers. They kind of were taken by
exactly,
surprise, and
exactly.
the way they batted, was no exception. You
We'll
know,
have this discussion because
yeah,
we will have this discussion how they batted and how, what's wrong with this England Test batting lineup, because obviously I know you are much happier seeing this kind of England batting lineup, because I know you have it on your mind that okay, 5-0 Ashes, we are winning this in Australia. Let's have this discussion on the. We need to discuss about Mohammad Siraj. Sorry, we need to discuss about Mohammad Shami and Jasprit Bumrah about batting. And we will have this discussion obviously. But what's your take on the England fielding placement and the tactics they made? Just imagine, just they all are like number 11 batsmen. Forget about where they're batting. Mohammad Shami, Mohammad Siraj, Ishan Sharma, and Jasprit Bumrah. They all are like number 11 batsmen. And you are having this deep point, deep cover, and third. I can well imagine the third man, because obviously you know that the tailenders got a lot of ages, and you don't want to concede the boundaries during this third man area, because but you can't imagine Mark Wood running in, bowling 90 miles per hour, and bowling to Jasprit Bumrah or even Mohammad Shami, and you are having this long on and long off, and you are having this deep mid wicket, and all this field placement here. It was like a one day field placement. It was like a ODI or T20 field placement. I was just laughing that they are like, we have been Jasprit Bumrah and Mohammad Shami must be thinking, hang on, we have been treated like a proper batsman, that we are batting like a have been treated like a proper batsman. It's like we are batting on 150 or 160 not out. Lucas, go ahead.
yeah. It, I don't know what I don't know what Joe Root was trying to do.
Yeah,
Maybe he's taking captaincy advice from Tim Payne. That's the only thing I can say. Yeah, like you said, you have Mark Wood bowling. I think one delivery bowled 154 Ks,
exactly.
and he's and instead of using that 154 kilometer ball, pitched up, he was bowling short with it, completely
Yes.
wasting it, completely wasting his
And
energy,
they didn't
wasting his
have
time.
any slips either. Lucas, they didn't had any slips for the tailender also. Just imagine. Go ahead.
And I just can't wrap my head around how stupid that is. You know, why would you not at least bowl like you would if they're an opener? If they were openers that came out, you would see an attacking field. You would have slips, cover points,
Exactly.
short leg, mid wicket, and a fine leg. And for some reason, tailenders came out, and we thought, well, we're just going to bowl this short nonsense.
Exactly.
I think Boomer got into their
And
heads.
it's
I think,
nothing wrong. It's nothing wrong, Lucas. It's nothing wrong to bowl a shot to Chalanders, but like you got to, you just forget about your main tactics, that you got to bowl them out also, and you were in a very good what you call situation to win a test match also, and you just forget about all this situation, and you just remember one thing, that Jasprit Bumrah bowled a bouncer, and that got hit with Jimmy Anderson, and you just went ahead with the same agenda, that we need to hit Jasprit Bumrah and we need to hit Mohammad
yeah,
Shami, and that's our primary focus. And they just forget about their situation. They are in a very good situation to win a test match in the Lords, and they could have gone with the 1-0 up in the series. Lucas, go ahead.
they got completely carried away with that. They lost the plot.
Yeah,
Let's be honest. They lost the plot. Um, I can't imagine a 600 test. Let's take out the wood pace, the Mark Woods pace. I can't imagine a 600 wicket taker bowler like James Anderson getting told to bowl it short. That's
Exactly.
just absolute madness.
And
Um,
he hadn't had that pace, and he's an out and out swing bowler. Just imagine, it's like we are telling Bhuvneshwar Kumar that you have to bowl a bouncer consistently. It's not his strength.
it, it it's just absolutely ridiculous. Ridiculous. Anderson's made a living with bowling four and getting edges,
Yes,
LBWs, clean bowls, clean bowled. Yeah, why would you set a field for him where he has to force literally he's being forced to bowl short because of the field.
exactly.
Because heaven forbid, there was no slips. He bowls it, he pitches it up, edges to the slips. It's four.
Yes.
You know,
No, they had a third man. They
it,
had a third man actually.
okay. So the chances of getting him out while bowling short is just
Yes.
so low compared to bringing the field up and and bowling to him like he's an opener.
Yes.
And like you said, I just think they wanted to get back at Jasprit Bumrah.
That's
Um,
it.
and they absolutely lost their marbles. They lost their marbles, especially Joe Root. That was
Exactly.
probably one of the worst captaincy efforts I've ever seen in my life. I don't know what he was trying to do. I think the emotion got to him, and
Exactly.
he just lost the absolute plot. And
Yes, he
uh,
lost the plot.
he we even seen him go into the dressing room. And he came out. When he came out, he looked like he had not a damn clue. He had not a clue what to do. We saw him during the drinks breaks on his hands and knees crawling for a split second. Crawling. What in the world? I don't know. I can't explain that. I can't explain that. What he was trying to do at that point when he was on his hands and knees trying to crawl. I can't explain that. But he did not have an absolute clue when he came into that dressing room. It looked like his mind went somewhere else. He lost the plot. And unfortunately, when your captain loses a plot like that, unfortunately, if you're a bowler, you have to listen to him because A, he is the captain, and B, he's setting
Yes.
the fields for you to bowl that way. So that was very that no bowler needs to face that from a captain that's lost the plot. That was mentally weak by Joe Root. That was mentally very, very weak. And if I'm England, I'm looking for somewhere else. You can't expect a captain team where you act like that. That was just the shocking behaviour. Shocking mental behaviour from a captain that looked like he had not a clue what to do. Not a clue.
Just imagine, Lucas, you are 170. India got lead by once Rishabh Pant got out 170 180, and you can in a front seat that you gonna winning this test match, and you have lot of station lefts also. You can just be imagining that we gonna bowl this tail enders the 8 9 9 10 11 and 200. Even if we got to chase this 210, fair enough, we're gonna chase this easily. But you just, as you told it earlier, they just lost the plot, and on the winning situation, they could have won this test match easily. And obviously, I'm being an Indian. If you ask me, obviously, I was a little bit scared after Rishabh Pant got out, and I thought, hang on, we are in verge of losing a test match here. And thank God, Root captaincy just saved us. And obviously, you know what happened after that.
He gave up. As simple as that. Joe Root gave up, and that's unacceptable. That is unacceptable. Whether you're captaining the team, you're an opener, or a main bowler, batting at five, whatever, wicketkeeper, whatever. You do never give up. You never ever give up. And the look on his face. He looked like he didn't want to even be there. He wanted to be somewhere else, at home.
Yeah.
He just gave up, and that's just a terrible attitude. And I'll tell you what, if the ECB had any brains, they should have sacked him that night. immediately that night as captaincy. That was it wasn't. Renell Joseph said hello. Hello.
Hello.
One
Okay,
one of
go
my
ahead, Lucas.
one of my good friends. Hello, Renell. So Joe Root gave up. Simple as that. He gave up, and that's just not acceptable by a captain. I'm sorry, not acceptable.
Okay, so we have this discussion of this of blunder tactics from Joe Root. Let's have this discussion where it is credit needs to give to the Mohammad Shami and Jasprit Bumrah. Let's start from the Mohammad Shami. How well he batted yesterday. It was like he celebrated like that he has scored 100. Obviously, he just opened his helmet and he celebrated. It's like obviously it's like a he made 100. It was the situation was like that. Those 50 runs. It's like 100 run on that kind of a situation. Go ahead.
He did it Glenn McGrath. That's what Glenn
Yes.
McGrath did when. Thank you, Renell. Thank you. That's what Glenn McGrath did when he made his 50. He raised the bat up. We saw
Against
Ponting
New Zealand,
laughing.
right? If I'm not
Yeah,
wrong.
that's correct. And yep, correct. And we saw Ponting absolutely laugh their head off. That he made that 50. Shami probably a little bit more better batsman than McGrath. But he celebrated like he made a Test match 100. Kohli was laughing. Everybody was laughing. It was just he was absolutely fantastic. Mohammad Shami, and like unlike other batsmen, he played it safe. Because of the short, because of the fielding, that pushed back deep. There was a lot of gaps. He played safe singles, and so did Bumrah. They didn't.
Some of them, Lucas, and just seen some of these flick shots. It was like a proper batsman shot. Lucas, go ahead.
Yeah, well, especially over Johnny Bairstow, there was twice we won over.
Yes.
But that's what I mean. He didn't go for too much. He took a lot of singles. So did Bumrah. They took a lot of singles in that innings, because the field was pushed back so deep. They didn't have to go for match shots. And what I loved from that innings between Bumrah and Shami, they rotated the strike. No one hogged the strike. They rotated it.
Yes.
They trusted each other. I think that's what undid Richard Pant. He didn't trust his batsmen. I think in that situation, you have to take every run available. Every run's crucial, and that's what they did. They took every run available. Bumrah and
Lucas, just to interrupt you, you made a point that that's what you didn't like about Rishabh Pant, that he didn't give a lot of strike to the batsmen he should have trusted. But
it wasn't.
What? Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, it wasn't so much giving the strike, but refusing to take singles. That's the problem that I didn't like.
Got it. But how can you imagine? Because all this, as I told you earlier, Rishabh Pant was a proper batsman, and all these batsmen, Mohammad Shami, Jasprit Bumrah, Mohammad Siraj, and Ishant Sharma is like they all are like a number 11 batsmen. Forget about where they are batting. But once Mohammad Shami and Jasprit Bumrah are batting together, how can you just say that Mohammad Shami just say, "Hang on, Jasprit, I am batting perfectly. I'm gonna giving you a strike on the 5th or 6th ball." How can you even say that? So obviously they both are talented, and they just what do you call it? They've taken all the singles which they were available. Go ahead, Lucas.
Well, they kind of dug themselves in a hole now, because we now are going to expect them to do it again.
Yes.
because they've done it once, and when you've done it once, you can do it again.
Yes.
So they've shown that they.
Lucas, one more thing. Earlier, Jasprit Bumrah had an average of 2 or 3 in the Test matches, and suddenly in this series, he's like been performing very well in this Test matches. You don't forget about this first Test match also. Now he batting again in the second Test match. It was quite remarkable. Lucas, go ahead.
And that's what I said. And we're expecting him to do it again now. Do not make any zeros. Do not make any ones or twos. You've set the bar now. You've set the bar to make these 30s and 40s and even 50s.
Yes.
by Shami's stake, and you expected to
And Mohammad,
now hold.
just one more thing. Mohammad Shami has two international 50 test matches 50 in two test matches 50 now, and they all
Yep.
are against England, and they all are in England also. Lucas, go ahead.
Well, that makes it even worse. That just shows you that England haven't learned from the first time, have they? Um,
Yeah,
so they have this obsession with bowling to tail enders, short pitch bowling. Well, incidentally, we would have been the captain as well.
yes.
So he hasn't learned. But one part of it you'd find it funny because it is Boomer and Shemi, but the second part of
Yes.
it you think they did a fantastic job. They
Exactly.
were they
Exactly.
were absolutely brilliant with the bat, and they deserved full credit.
Okay. A word on Jasprit Bumrah. How did he play?
Well, it's the same thing as Shemi. He played safe. He
Yes.
rotated the strike. He rotated the strike when he had to. Like you said, there are tailenders. They're not going to fight and disagree about who's batting. They're going to take every run possible. Bumrah, he did get a couple of edges, inside edges. One that didn't carry, couple of them that didn't carry, especially to second slip. But in Test cricket, when the field is back, like that, you make your own luck. And thank thank you, Renell. Thank you very much. And you
Thank
make
you
your
very
own
much.
luck. So he got his own luck, and it was because of Joe Root's arrogancy of the field placings. He deserved his luck, Bumrah. He deserved it. He deserved, to get those edges that went for four. He deserved to be out there. He batted very positively, and like I said, if Coldy didn't declare, he could have got a 50 as well. They
Yes.
the problem was them two were never in danger. Can you ever think of an over where you thought, oh, here we go, they're going to get out? They just kept on
Yeah.
going and going. They got the lead to 200, then to 210, then to 220, 30, 40. It was absolutely remarkable just for Bumrah and Muhammad Shami and just for Bumrah. He's not known for this. I don't know
Yes.
if he's made. I don't think he's made a Test match 50. I think this is actually his highest score.
No. I think 50. He had made a score of. I think he had a 50 in. I think India was playing a practice game in Australia,
Yeah,
leading to the second
yeah,
time was we win that. So he had a 50 in the practice match games, but he hasn't scored an international 50 till now
yeah.
in this Test cricket. Let's move ahead from the Jasprit Bumrah topic. Just imagine I'm giving you this what do you call it, I want your point of view. You are the captain of this England team. Just imagine, okay, just imagine, don't take seriously. You
Okay.
have been and your the innings has been declared. You need to chase 260 60 sorry, you need to chase 270. Final day, 60 over left. What will you tell your boys?
Well, the Australian mentality is to go for it no matter what. Play
Yes.
attacking cricket. Now, unfortunately, with England, they were in the same position against New Zealand, and they shut up shop. They completely played for the draw, and
Yes.
it looks like they weren't even going to entertain chasing this.
Yes.
Because, like I said, they could have brought out Bairstow or Butler. They could have put Butler up to 3. So they were not even going to entertain this one little bit. And that's kind of negative attitude. When
But how can you imagine, Lucas, that they would go for it? Their top order batsmen like Rory Burns and Dominic Sibley got out early, and after that Hasim
yeah,
Hamid also got out. So
yeah,
any batting lineup, they could have gone for the draw.
yeah, they tried to when they lost 3 early wickets. Obviously, they did play for the draw. That game was done
Yes.
now in their eyes. They were never going to get that. But I think as soon as India got over 230, I think England's mentality was that's it, we're done. We're going to set up shop. Um, because if they were really serious, like I said, England would have brought their field up, and they would have tried to bowl out India, but they went too
Yes.
defensive. It was almost like that they were trying to make India bat for longer by being defensive. Um,
Yes.
So they were never gonna chase this target. And like I said, that's a defensive attitude. Australia, we've seen them try to chase down anything. We saw in the 2005 Ashes series up in Headingley where Ponting made that 150. They were actually trying to get that. Unfortunately,
Yes.
he ran out of partners and he had to set up shop. But they weren't that far away from that target. They got within 100 of that target when they had to
Yes.
chase 400. I think 350 or 400 on that day. So they
Yeah.
actually went for that, and that's the Australian way, going for it. Don't shut up shop. You go for it. You play your natural game, playing your
Yes.
natural game. We saw that with Pujara and Rahane. Yeah, they played their natural game. Um,
Yes.
England batters didn't. They were too defensive. They shut up shop. They didn't have any interest of playing their natural game. I saw who was the batsman? Who was after Joe Root?
I
Josh
think
Butler. Yeah,
was no Johnny Bester was batting at number
Bairstow. Yeah,
five.
yeah. I saw Bairstow. Block half volleys that would have been hit for
Yes.
four anywhere else. So that
Yes.
just tells you they had no interest of even entertaining this target. They just wanted to bat the overs.
And Lucas, it's nothing new that their top order got bundled out early. It's nothing new. It's like Joe Root should have told any team, opposition team, that I am the opening batsman. So forget about I am coming out to bat, and my team score is 10 for 2.
Well, their openers are horrible. They're horrendous. I don't know. I don't know why they're playing. I don't know why. They've got so many good. They've got so many good batsmen. Well, for starters, Hamid's not even batting in his position. He's an opener.
Exactly. Yes.
Um, they've got so many good.
I think,
They've got so.
Lucas, I think they have announced their team for just for the two tests. So obviously they will re-announce this team again, and you can well imagine. I don't see. I can just see Rory Burns in his opening slot, and he will be given the chance. Obviously, he made 49 odd score in the first inning, so he will be giving this chance again on the series. But I don't see Dominic Sibley batting again in this team for the England team. I think he should be getting drop for this England team. I think he had been given a fair chance, and you need to be dropping Dom Sibley no matter what.
Like I was going to say, they have so many good batsmen in the county. Uh, Unfortunately, people say they're not ready. They're not ready. They need to go on the Lions tour. Well, what the hell is the point of a domestic season if you're going to be the leading run taker, the leading wicket taker? What's the point of and you're not and you're not going to get picked? What's the point of having a domestic season? What's the point?
Yes.
And in England, they have fantastic batsmen in the county division, and they have fantastic bowlers in the county division. But all you hear is they're not fit. They're not suitable for Test match cricket. They would get out straight away. They wouldn't last 10 balls. Well, what's the point of having these tournaments? Why don't we just scrap all these tournaments and just play the 100 or the IPL?
Yeah.
If we see Moeen Ali get picked based on the 100, and he
Yes.
really did nothing special. He did nothing special. Yeah, he survived a couple of overs, but
I think he
he.
bowled okay. I think by bowling point of view, he
Mm,
bowled okay. He
uh,
picked some wicket in the
yeah,
second innings also.
yeah, a couple of cheap wickets. Rahane threw his wicket away. I didn't
I
see
think,
Moeen Ali really turn. Yeah, the
yeah,
Skinner.
right.
He slide
Ravindra
on
Jadeja.
Skinner. Yeah, yeah.
Ravindra Jadeja.
The ball to Jadeja was probably the best ball from a spinner
Exactly.
that match.
Yes.
So apart from that ball, the spin wasn't really there. Um,
Yes.
so they've just got selection horribly wrong.
Okay, fair enough. Obviously, as I told you earlier, they got bundled out early, and I've just made a one point. Obviously, lots of people were asking that India should have played with this Ashwin, but obviously, I need to go with this same point again. You told earlier also that Ishant is a contained bowler, and he just pulled a brilliant spell and he picked wicket also.
Yeah, what what Virat Kohli did was brilliant with Jadeja and Siraj.
Yes,
Now, Virat Kohli knew that Jadeja, when he bowled him late in those overs, he knew
yes,
Jadeja wasn't going to take wickets. But what he did, he took off Siraj, he brought on Ishant Sharma, but he kept Jadeja. He didn't bring back Siraj from the other end. He kept on
yes,
Jadeja. By keeping Jadeja on for those 2-3 overs, he gave Siraj a rest. Gave Siraj a
yes.
rest. Sharma at the other end did his job. Fantastic. You know, at, at at this point in time, when you know that all you need to do is take wickets, it doesn't matter if you
Yes,
leak runs. It does not matter. If you got to
yes,
pitch it up and you take a four, that doesn't matter now. That's too late for
yes.
that. So Ishant Sharma did that, but Jadeja was still bowling at the other end, so he kind of kept Siraj, fresh. Jadeja, or sorry, Virat Kohli's captaincy by bowling Jadeja, kept Siraj fresh. And when he brought on Ishant Sharma, it was obviously Siraj went off, but he kept on Jadeja. When Jadeja came off, that's when Siraj came back on. He had those 2-3 overs of a spell, came back on, and he was fantastic.
Interrupt you, Lucas. One more point I want to make, and I want to make it very clear. Lucas was the guy who was trailing, and he was literally shouting on the Twitter and on my show also that you need to play Mohammad Siraj in World Test Championship
Yeah,
final also.
yeah,
Forget about Ishant Sharma. You need
yeah,
to play Mohammad Siraj because he's a
yeah,
guy
yeah,
who can have you on your faces, and he's kind of a character who can give you wickets also. And forget
yeah,
about you can forget Ishant Sharma. No matter how
yeah,
many wickets he has taken, no matter how many good years he has having for the 3 or 4 years, you got to play Mohammad Siraj. And yesterday Lucas' point was proved right. Lucas, go ahead.
Well, the good thing is that, like I said, Kohli's captaincy, he could have went to Ishant
Yes,
Sharma, he could have went to Shami. They're two most, or even Bumrah. They're three most experienced bowlers. But he said, you know what, I'm not going to do that. Siraj, I'm going to pick you. You took 4 wickets in the first innings. You've taken
yes,
3 wickets in this innings. You're going to be the guy now. It's either you or bust. That's it. You or bust. So he trusted fully in Siraj. And
yes.
Siraj was absolutely brilliant in that last day. He was
Yes.
fantastic. He
And
did everything.
and his pace was not exactly as I told you earlier. His pace still not there that he used to bowl in Australia, where he used to bowl at 145 and 144 clicks.
Yeah,
But it was good enough to bowl out this England batting
yeah.
lineup by on this condition by a 134 or 135 miles per hour delivery.
His temperament of bowling the same line was fantastic. And getting especially in pitching off stump and swinging it out. That's a skill. That's a legitimate swing bowling skill. So we now know that he can now swing the ball. That's
Exactly.
that's that's now not a debate. He can legitimately swing the ball out. Um,
Yes.
and he was absolutely fantastic. He does, to be honest, he does. The only thing he did wrong was not take a 5 wicket haul and get his name on the leaderboard on Lords.
Exactly. But you can well
That's
imagine because you
yeah,
have lots of quality fast bowlers, so the wicket will be
yeah,
definitely share
yeah,
in all of them.
yeah. Absolutely. He got an 8 wicket match. He could have easily got 5 wickets in either innings. Could have got a 10 wicket match. He was absolutely fantastic with the ball. Arguably, I actually would have gave him man of the match over KL Rahul, personally. But a bit stiff there. But he you can't take anything away from him. He was absolutely brilliant, Mohammad Siraj.
So Lucas, let's forget about what happened on day five. Let's have our main discussion. What are the positives and what are the negatives point in this test matches for the both the team? So let's start from the England team. What's your thing? And that obviously they are gonna announcing this team very soon. Obviously, that they had a team for the only two test matches. So let's start from their positive points. Obviously, don't say me. Obviously, once you talk about that England team, you gonna be have this positive news coming out that Joe Root
It's
scored a
very
brilliant
hard to find
180 on
positives.
the second test match,
Very
and
hard to
Jimmy
very hard
Anderson
for
picked on
positives. Yeah, it's very hard to find positives to that England team.
Apart from Joe Root 180
Yeah,
180 masterclass, and obviously
yeah,
Jimmy Anderson
yeah.
bowled a brilliant spell on the second day. You will find really hard to find some of the top positive points from England.
I'm um I'm looking away from the camera because I'm actually legitimately trying to think of a positive apart from Joe Root and James Anderson.
Yeah. So it's nothing new that apart from Joe Root and Jimmy Anderson, there is nothing new.
There is absolutely nothing. There is no maybe Johnny Bairstow's 50 in the first
Yes,
innings.
he made a 50.
Yeah, apart, and he did poorly in the second innings, so you can't
Yeah.
really take much out of that. But that is a
And
positive. He did at
once
least.
again, once again, it's an alarming bell for Johnny Bairstow also. Once again, he's getting out on a straight ball or the ball coming in
Yeah,
to the wicket, and once again he's getting either LBW out or either he getting bowled. So it's nothing new that is
no.
happening with this Johnny Bairstow again returning to the test side.
So that I'll rephrase that. I'll say Johnny Bairstow, but I'll say Johnny Bairstow's first innings is a positive. Apart from that,
Yes.
there is absolutely no obviously Root and James Anderson, but apart from that, Jimmy Bairstow's first innings. Apart from that, there's no positives. There's absolutely no positives
And
in that
Lucas,
England team.
one more, Lucas, England selection committee will have some of the headaches also now because
Yeah,
earlier it used to be Jofra Archer ruled out. Okay, we got the news that Ben Stokes has been ruled out because of the mental health issue and whatever the reason is, we respect his decision. Okay, we got this news now. Earlier also after the once the second test match was about to start, Stuart Broad is out of the
yeah,
series right now. Okay,
yep.
now we are hearing this that Mark Wood, as I told you earlier, and I have been saying many times that you can't risk Mark Wood as a bowler in the test matches, and he
No,
has been also injured. He's also facing the shoulder injury, and
yep,
it's his bowling hand.
yeah. I said to you now, they really need Wood in the Ashes, and I think that's it. I think they'll pull the plug on him. Um,
Yeah.
I think they've got no choice to go to domestic bowlers like Luke Fletcher.
And
Um,
Lucas, once
yep,
you just talked about the Ashes. Mark Wood was the only bowler who could bowl fast and who could be the
yeah,
options of Jofra Archer. But now,
yeah,
since once again that injury has come back again to the Mark
yeah.
Wood, they had left no options by
Uh,
going out and out swing bowler. They have no. I think there is no
yeah.
bowler in this county team who could bowl as fast as Mark Wood or Jofra Archer is.
Not as fast. Ollie, they've got Ollie Stone, but he himself is under an injury cloud. He's under an injury cloud as well. Um, so they've got no choice now, no choice but to pick domestic bowlers like Luke Fletcher, Craig Overton. That's they may have to play two spinners. They may have to play two spinners, which is absolutely farcical in England. Their options are that they no this is what their options they've got left. Either they play domestic bowlers, give a debut test match to Luke Fletcher, who's the leading wicket taker, or give a match to Craig Overton, or they pick two spinners. That's literally their only option. Knowing
I think
knowing England cricket,
Sakib Mahmood
yeah,
is also
and
a good
Saki, yeah,
option.
yeah, and Saki Mahmood, that's their only choice. Pick domestic bowlers or go with two spinners.
Yes.
Knowing England, they'll probably go with two spinners and just
Okay.
blow up the match. They've got, and it's not just Mark Wood. Sam Curran's form is terrible.
We will have
He's
this discussion, Lucas.
Yep,
Hang on, we will have this discussion about the negative points also. Obviously, I understand that Sam Curran would be on that negative list. So we'll have this discussion. Positive points is Jimmy Anderson and Joe Root. And we
yep,
have a lot of issues around with this England batting lineup. And obviously, as I told you earlier, that Mark Wood will not be available. So there are a lot of what do you call it? Selection issues also must be facing this England team. Let's have this discussion on India also. Okay, I also have the same point because I don't see any positives apart from Joe Root Masterclass and Jimmy Anderson. Obviously, they are Jimmy Anderson is like a fine wine; he keeps getting better and better. So,
Yeah.
and let's discuss on this India. Being an
Well,
Indian,
actually,
I would
with
say,
with just a quick one with James Anderson, he's 39. He can't play every test,
exactly,
and when he's bowling like this, England have got no choice but to force him to play in every test, but they can't.
exactly.
So that's another problem. Go ahead.
Yeah. Let's go with this Indian positive point. Okay. I being an Indian, I will say first, and you can have your say also. I will definitely say because as I told you earlier, nobody will give a credit a lot once they seen what happened in the day five because Jasprit Bumrah and Mohammad Shami heroics in the batting. So I want to make it clear that you don't forget what Ajinkya Rahane and Cheteshwar Pujara did on the day four.
No.
India were in the spot of bother and they could have lost the game very much early. But
Yep.
you just don't forget that inning of Cheteshwar Pujara and Ajinkya Rahane. They made batting look easy and they shocked the pressure on that point of time. And it was like two of the only two guy made batting look easy on that day four pitch. And obviously the two positive, and obviously you can't forget about KL Rahul's masterclass on the first inning. Rohit Sharma 85. Okay, Mohammad Siraj bowling. Ishant Sharma bowled okay, brilliantly. I think on the first inning, Ravindra Jadeja made 40 odd runs, if I'm not wrong. And Mohammad Shami, he batted well also. He bowled well also. Jasprit Bumrah bowled brilliantly on the day five pitch where a lot of pressure was also there because you got to bowl out the opposition team in 60 overs. So it's like there were a lot of positive in this Indian team. And Lucas, you want to
Yeah.
add something?
Yeah. There were heaps of positives. Absolutely thousands of them. Like you said, Pujara, Rahane, major positives. We've smashed Pujara, we've smashed Rahane. Just like Pujara, he got smashed in that Australian series. What did he do in where it most mattered most in Brisbane? He steadied the fort, helps Pant, helped Shadman Gill. He did the same thing here. He steadied the fort. He changed his technique. He batted a little bit deeper in his crease. Um, and he was unbelievable. And where it mattered the most, where we needed him, where India needed him the most, I said we. Jesus, I'm turning into Indian.
Just
Um,
Lucas, just to interrupt you.
yeah,
I just need to make one point. Once Pujara is in that kind of a mood where he just plays every delivery and he just leave a ball pretty much well, and you got to get him out on a very special delivery
yeah,
which you got and obviously it was like that the Mark Wood played bowled a brilliant bouncer.
yeah.
It was not even a bouncer, it was like a it
No,
just went up on the good length delivery, and it was like unplayable delivery that got out Pujara. So once Pujara is in that kind of a mode, you need a
yeah,
special delivery to got him out. So obviously
yeah.
you will say about this positive for India. Go ahead.
Yeah, so Mark Wood bowled a short. It wasn't a bouncer. It was just a short ball that went up like a bouncer. Completely took. Nobody can do anything about that. So you either need a freak incident like that, or you need someone that's going to consistently bowl on off stump and pitch it out like Hazelwood did. England, I don't. Obviously, they have James Anderson, but I don't. He's not. He doesn't bowl like that compared to Josh Hazelwood. Josh Hazelwood has a lot more patience than Jimmy Anderson when it comes to line and length. Now, obviously, James Anderson swings the ball much more further than Josh Hazelwood, but it's the patience game. You need to outpatient Pujara, and England didn't do that. And unfortunately for Pujara, it took a freak incident. So, but that was a major. We'll forget about that. That was a major positive. Rahane again changed his technique. He didn't change it big time. He didn't move his hands. He was just batting back in your crease. I mentioned this the other day. He identified that he wanted to bat a little bit more cautiously. So he found out that he can't continue batting like this. He has to change something, and he did fantastically. You can easily say that Pujara and Rahane deserved hundreds that day. They were magnificent, so that's a big positive. Obviously, Siraj, huge positive, probably the positive of the Test match. But one thing that we haven't spoke about, another positive, is Virat Kohli's captaincy. That was big, absolutely fantastic, especially when he took off Siraj, brought on Sharma, but kept Jadeja on, then took off Jadeja. Siraj got a rest, took out the English tail. Absolutely fantastic. That was another big positive. Um, and another positive is just an all-round team effort. It was just an all-round team effort. KL Rahal's 100, Siraj's 8 wickets in a match, Pujara, Rahane. Ishant
Rohit
Sharma,
Sharma 35.
yep,
Rohit Sharma
yep,
35 in the
yep,
first inning.
Rohit Sharma, Bumrah's batting. It was an all-round positive day, also match for India.
Okay, let's have this discussion on the negative points of for England. Obviously, we have to discuss a lot of things because I
Well,
think Sam Curran's bowling has been not been as expected as England want to have this expectation from him, and obviously his batting let them down. Obviously, they are expecting him, and obviously he had that stature that people are expecting a lot from him because we have all seen what he can do on this cricket field with the bat. We have seen in the white ball format. We have seen in the 2018 series what he can do with the bat also. So with the bat, with the ball, it has been not been very good series for Sam Curran also. So this is the major disappointment for England because obviously Ben Stokes is also not there. Sam Curran is an out and out all rounder. So they are expecting a lot of things from Sam Curran, and I think Sam Curran also knows this, and he is facing the heat. Lucas, are you there, mate?
yep, yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, where do you want me to start with the negatives?
Yeah,
There's that many of them. It's just ridiculous. It's not even funny. And
yes.
I'm an Australian fan. I like to see England in pain, but this is just ridiculous. Um, Openers, Joe Root's captaincy, Joe Root's mentality, Sam Curran, second innings bowling to Bumrah and Shami. So that's 5 already, off the top of my head, 5 already. Or 6
Uh,
middle order, Moeen Ali, that's 7, Josh Butler, that's 8. So that's eight negatives off the top of my head.
John Professional did say that he had a only choice that left once he was batting in the second inning that he just need to block, and he blocked, and after that you need a special delivery to you need a in England kind of a conditions you have that one delivery where you got a right what do you call it, you definitely got you out, so he got
Yeah,
out after.
that was a Siraj bowling around the wicket, pitched around middle, swinged out, and Josh Butler had to play at it because if he left it and Siraj brought it in, it's all over, LBW. So
Yes.
Butler had to play that shot, and it was a special ball from Siraj. Um, there's just so many negatives. Also outside of that game, another negative is the selection.
Yes.
That that
And this
that's
this will carry on for a 1 week because we have a 1 week break between this test match. Obviously, the third test match is in, if I'm not wrong, in Headingley. So we have a 1 week,
Leeds. Yeah,
yeah, 1 week
yeah,
time, and let's see what happens during that period of time. England need to sort out lot of things in that period of time. Obviously, the selection, the top order batsmen, who gonna play. I think I am hearing this that you might see Chris Vox coming back in the team again. Obviously, because you don't have many bowlers left, and obviously uh, uh, as I told you earlier many times, they need to sort out this issue. They are trying to figure out. They trying to solve this issue. They are finding. They are trying to fill that Ben Stokes position with this two all-rounder or three all-rounder, whatever the all-rounder, how many all-rounders they're trying to fill. But obviously, Chris Stokes also can bat. Moin Ali is also in the team. I don't know whether he will play. Obviously, the team is yet to be announced again for the rest of the three test matches. Sam Curran, I'm not seeing this by the performance of Sam Curran that he will be in the team again. Let's see what goes. And the negative points for India, I don't see many negatives apart from Virat Kohli's form.
I was just going to say that the only negative with India is Virat Kohli's form. I don't think he's made a 50 yet.
No,
In
no.
this, so his
And
form is a real concern.
I think one more thing, Lucas. I think if you're talking about 50, I think Rishabh Pant hasn't made any 50 yet,
Mm,
but he has been contributing 20 or 30s lower
yeah,
down the order.
in a way, Virat Kohli not making any runs is also a positive because they're winning without him doing anything.
Exactly,
You know,
exactly.
they
And it's
won this
nothing new.
test.
Lucas, it's
Yeah,
nothing new. You know this, and I don't want to make it again. It's not nothing new that Virat Kohli hasn't done anything, and we are still winning it. It's nothing new
mm,
because you obviously know this, and you have been following this Indian team for a very long period of time. We have lots of match winners now. We are not dependent on only Virat Kohli.
yeah. And again, that's another positive. They have so many match winners. You know,
Yes,
compared to Australia, who rely heavily on Warner and Steve Smith in their batting lineup.
yes. And
And Josh
now
Hazel and
I'm
yeah,
telling you.
yeah, and in their bowling unit, they mentioned that they put a lot of pressure on Josh Hazelwood and Pat Cummins.
Yes,
So
yes,
if any of those bowlers or batsmen weren't playing, you know, they'd be in a big trouble. Where you can
yes.
take out Virat Kohli, we've just seen that in Australia, they'll win the series
Exactly.
because of their match.
Yes,
So that's another positive. Um, so it is a concern his form. But
yes,
like I said he needs to make a technical adjustment, like Pujara did, like Rahane did.
yes,
Um,
yes,
now now his batting temperament is completely different to Pujara's and Rahane's.
yes.
He's not a type of batsman that will go defensive like
Exactly,
Pujara and Rahane did in that innings. Even by Pujara's standards, he went very defensive in that first session when he
exactly,
was batting. Kohli won't do that,
exactly.
unfortunately. So now he needs to
Yeah,
find another technical way to get out of this form slump. Now, probably leaving would be a start, but again, that's being defensive. Every ball you leave is a ball you're not attacking.
yes,
So and he doesn't play like that. So I think until he makes a technical adjustment, I don't see him making any runs. Um, but I don't think he's the kind of guy that would make a technical adjustment. So it's going to be very difficult for him to make
I
runs.
think there is a one big time, Lucas. I think there is a one big time, and I think he will make a lot of. Obviously, you know him,
Yep.
how what do you call it, passionate a guy he is, and I
Yeah.
think he will work on his technique. And obviously,
Yep.
he also knows it. He also knows this that he's batting at number 4, and and his team needs him to perform on this situation because this is the best. As I told many
Yeah.
times, this is the best time to win a series in England. And obviously, once you don't contribute with the bat, anybody, I'm telling everybody, you got to score those big 100 when you need to win overseas. You need to score consistently 350 or 300 to be on the game and to start winning overseas.
Mm. Well, India in prime position to win this series.
Exactly,
I think they're favourites, and I think if they don't win this series, I think it'll be a
exactly,
massive opportunity lost.
exactly.
Remember they only got if they win the next Test match, they've won the series. Um, hang on, have they? No, no. I think they got
No,
to.
no, no,
No, yeah,
no.
yeah. So no, if they
They
win the
can't
next
lose
Test,
that series.
yeah,
They can't
if
lose
they
that
yeah
series after they won
yeah.
this third test
So
match.
so they're probably going to know that mentally. They know that if we win this next Test match, we can't lose. And then
Yes.
England will probably experiment, and
Yes.
then they'll have a better opportunity of winning this series. So they'll know that mentally they'll be up for this game. Unfortunately, I
Yes.
think the curators are going to go a little bit crazy here. They're going to probably
So they will prepare a green top. You're saying that
yeah.
they will prepare a green top.
I think it'll be bowling friendly. Even this was not an English pitch. This was not a traditional English pitch. This India were batting so easily on it. And
Yes.
as I said to you before this series, all India need to do is make 350 in
Exactly.
any innings. That would be too much for England. They won't catch, and we saw that
Exactly.
they got bowled out for 120.
Yes.
They just their batsmen just outside of Joe Root cannot handle it. And I think the
Exactly.
curators are going to see what happened yesterday, and I think they're going to go absolutely mental. I think they're going to leave a green top. And
Obviously, and they are 1-0 down on the series, so you can expect
yeah,
this kind
yeah,
of pitches on the Leeds ground,
yeah,
on the
yeah,
heading ground.
because what's England's strength? Bowling. What's their weakness? Batting. What's
Exactly.
India's strength? Batting. What's their weakness? Bowling. Well, not now, but
Not
I think
now.
yeah, I
They
think the
got
curators,
they
yeah.
covered all the spaces now right
Mm.
now.
So I think the curators are going to absolutely go crazy here and just prepare a green top, and leave a
Yes.
lot of grass on this pitch, to give England's bowlers every chance to give India a low total. I see that, so I hope not. But I think that's what they'll do.
Okay, Lucas, we have discussed everything. We have discussed everything, the positive, the
Yeah,
negatives point from
absolutely.
India and England.
And
And
apologies for not being on here yesterday.
yes, and we have discussed the yesterday day five review. Also, we have reviewed with you also day five. It was brilliant, and we will meet tomorrow. Then, till then, guys, do like the video. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon for all the
Yep,
updates on cricket. We go live. Lucas.
yep. Make sure you like and subscribe, and share it on social media. And review is coming for the West Indies and Pakistan game 2. Fantastic game 1, absolutely fantastic.
Yes,
So
after once the second test match will finish, Lucas will review that second test match.
yep,
Obviously, he is
I'll,
also watching this West Indies
yep.
Pakistan test matches.
So I won't be doing a day by day review like I did of the
Yes.
T20 series in Bangladesh. I'll be waiting after that game has finished.
Yeah,
So
you
brilliant
can
first game.
imagine that you are reviewing day by day on the T20
Yep,
series because
yep.
obviously it was like
One
that it
that
was a one day
yeah,
game or T20 game, but it is test matches. You can't review every day. So you after that the day finishes, you will review after the test matches finishes, you will review that test match.
absolutely.
Uh,
And
most of the
Renell,
said, bye, thanks, enjoyed the chat.
she
Okay,
she
just like and subscribe and hit the bell icon and just share with your friends that we have this YouTube channel and we discuss all this cricket point of view discussion. Lucas, you want to say something?
incidentally, Renell is a very passionate West Indies fan. So
Okay.
I actually knew about this. What Pakistan and
Is
India, West
he from
Indies.
West Indies?
Yes, she is. She's from Trinidad and Tobago.
She is
So
from
she,
she is from
yeah,
West Indies, right? So once
absolutely, yeah.
he can come in our show if he we will have this discussion on this West Indies series. Joseph,
She can, yeah, she can.
Joseph,
Yeah, she
are you
might.
interested?
You have to ask her. But
That give me a heart attack. Horrible batting, but a best thriller. No,
that's
what is she
that's
about?
that's regarding the West Indies team when they left to 1 wicket, with 13 runs
Okay.
to go.
Yeah,
Incident. We're
yeah,
talking
yeah. I
about,
remember that.
yeah.
I remember that.
We're talking about
I
captain.
just one more thing, Lucas. After that, you can say what you
Yeah,
want. Just people just underestimate Kemar Roach as a bowler. He has been brilliant over the years. People don't rate him as higher as
no,
people rate him. Jasprit Bumrah, Pat Cummins, Kagiso Rabada, and Jofra Archer. People rate him. He is so underrated as a bowler, Kemar Roach, and you got to give him credit.
She's actually from Grenada, but she's lived in Trinidad for 21 years. So there you go. Um, we talk about pressure, captaincy pressure. We saw Joe
Yeah.
Root lose the plot. I'll tell you one captain that did lose the plot, and it's unacceptable by him is Bubba
Baba Azam?
Azam.
Yeah.
He can. West Indies they only needed one wicket, and they had 15 runs to get. He left the field up. He let them take easy signals, and that's completely lose. Again, I don't know what he was thinking there, but that's just stupid by Bubba Azam. And West Indies batsmen Sales and also Seals, so if I get that pronunciation wrong, and Kumar Roach were just taking the singles. And fortunately for Azam, he pushed his field up too late, and they only needed 4 runs to get. So that's stupid captaincy by Azam, and he should know better to do that.
Lucas, I can just give a benefit of the doubt to the Babar Azam here, just because you know what he does, because it was a low scoring game, and it wasn't like India was in a better position, that India was very clear that we don't lose this series. Okay, we are not gonna lose this test match. Sorry, Babar Azam has that situation. If we concede a boundary here, we will definitely have this a very what do you call it, a situation where we can lose easily. So obviously you can imagine that he pointed a fielder deep there, but you can't imagine that Joe Root just put it a fielder everywhere, where you have every situation that you are winning this test matches.
I will because I want to wrap the show up, but I want to make
Four
this
drop
point that
catches by Pakistan, nothing new. They are master in this dropping catches, and they are a master in this. They It's like they are what do you call it? The two batsmen strangle on the same end. So the two main thing you see from this Pakistan, the drop catches and the all the striker and the non-striker are stuck in the on the same end,
I'll tell
and they
you
got
what,
run out.
because I do want to wrap this show up, but I do want to say, if you want to look at a classic catch, look at Rizwan's catch the wicketkeeper in the
Yes,
fourth
I saw
innings,
that. I
where he
saw that.
dived, where he made a 30-meter run and then dived. That's
Yes, I
probably
saw
one of the
that.
better wicketkeeper catches I've ever seen. Tim Payne could never
Yes.
even try to do that.
Oh
So
no! Still going after that team pain. Just
did
imagine
I
team pain or any
did
Australian
I
guys see that this video, and people who say that Lucas is from Australia, Adelaide. Hang on, bring him there.
did I just say that? Did I really just say that?
Yeah,
Are we live still? Oh my
yeah,
god!
yeah,
Another
live.
another reason why people hate me, because of another
Yeah.
Tim Payne bashing. There you go.
No, no, forget about that. Till then, guys, we should wrap the show. And as I
Yes,
told you earlier,
please do
Joseph,
after that comment.
yeah, Joseph has said anything or whatever she's asking. Uh, we'll discuss.
See, poor Tim Payne. You see, I'm getting it already.
No issues. You just said that Team Pen is not a. Just say that Team Pen is not a proper wicket keeper, and he's not a very good judger of a DRS. Also, it's a fact.
Well,
Forget
that's
about that.
nothing new there.
Till then, guys, good night. Forget about everything. Till then, good night. Do like the video, do subscribe, and hit the bell icon, and make sure share with your friend. Till then, we will meet tomorrow.
Peace. Thank you, guys.